Next, we're going to move on to compound inequalities, which just means that we're looking at two inequalities connected with the word and or the word or. Now this first example, 7 is less than x is less than 9. It doesn't really look like it contains the word and or the word or. However, another way to write this is to look at the variable with each number piece. So this is the same thing as 7 is less than x and x is less than 9. So those two expressions, the original one and this one here, those are equivalent. The second one's a little bit more obvious. There's no way to combine these into a statement that doesn't show the word or. That'll be the only real way that you'll see x is less than 7 or x is greater than 9. Let's look at graphing a few. For this first one, we have all real numbers that are greater than 0. So x is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 4. So x is also less than or equal to 4. Now the important part about the word and is that both of these things need to be true in order for this compound inequality to be true. So the first thing you'll want to do is that you will want to put these two cutoff numbers onto your number line, as well as a few extra numbers. You'll kind of see that the number line now has 3 pieces. Let's put like one number over here, one number in between the 0 and 4, and one number over here. Again, at this time I counted by 2, so you don't always have to count by 1s. You just need a number in each section. Let's first focus on the x is greater than 0. I'm going to not put my final answer on the number line yet, but right above the number line I'll show my work. So x is greater than 0. It's a strictly greater than sign, which means 0 is not a solution, so that's an open circle. And then the numbers that are greater than 0 are numbers like 2, 4, and 6. So I would shade to the right. For x is less than or equal to 4, that one includes an equality sign in that inequality. So that means 4 is a solution. So I would have a colored in circle at 4, and then the numbers smaller than 4 are the ones off to the left. I like to think of this as like art class, where you're mixing colors. If you can imagine the red ray and the blue ray, and if we were to push them together, you're looking for a place where you'd get a purple segment in this case. And everywhere where you'd have purple would be the places where the red and the blue would mix together. So our final answer to this question is, where do red and blue make purple, which would be from the 0 to the 4, not including the 0 because there's only blue on 0, there's no red because of that open circle, including 4 because 4 has both red and blue, and then everything in between here as well. So again, and means both. You have to mix them together to make that new color. For the next one, all real numbers that are less than -1, so x is less than -1, or greater than 2. So x is greater than 2. For the word or doesn't mean both like and does. It means it could be one, it could be the other. Technically it could be both as well. So we're going to approach this just a little bit differently. We are still going to graph our cutoff points, the -1 and the 2. We'll put a point in between and a point on either side. And we'll graph them each separately. X is less than -1. That's an open circle because -1's not included. The numbers smaller than -1 go off to the left. And then we'll also graph x is greater than 2. 2 is not included because there's no equality symbol, and the numbers bigger than 2 go off to the right. Both of those together are your answer. Again, or does not mean overlap like and does. It just means one or the other. So our final answer is just to take both of these things together to make our answer.